final word.
The final word.
The final word. Yeah, you were talking about Chuma
Edoga.
Had a good game, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, the thing is with Chuma, he's solid. He's just had them glitches here and there. But he was going up against a hell of an athlete the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, good game, bro.
Yeah.
You know, it's left tackle is very interesting.
But I still lean on what Big Nate Newton said. And he said he'll be in tears if you ever see Austin Richards go to another team. He think that he's him.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Coach Martz said something about that. Coach Martz said, and it wasn't popular.
It wasn't
when
popular.
We drafted Tyler Guyton. He said, Austin Richards gonna have something to say about that. But people laughed at that. But at the end of the day, it's about competition.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's you know, it's just interesting to watch this stuff play out. You know, it's super interesting, bro. But I know a lot of the Cowboy Nation is here for answers, man.
I think we found some in some crazy way, like Brock Hoffman in these last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And then he showed even more flexibility getting back at center.
Yeah.
But I like him better at guard because of like everybody I talked to, they was like, well, he's not as strong as he's supposed to be at center, but they seeing the scrappiness that he play with guard, that he may be a good serviceable replacement for Zach Martin. Not saying that he's Zach Martin, by the way, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Big time, man.
But do you crisscross that? Do you crisscross that though, bro?
Yeah.
Did you move BB back to guard and then you say, hey, Brock, you gonna go back to center? You know, after this season, what BB done did this year, even though he got knocked out this last game, what will you do?
The good thing, and Jerry talked about this today, we go play that clip. And it's going to feed right into what you said. Matter of fact, I'm going to play it now, man. We ain't got no rules.
Jerry, you talked there about evaluations that you have to make, and you've mentioned recently a number of evaluations into the future that you have with staff and players and personnel and things like that. Outside of just the wins and losses over these next 4 games, what are the types of things that you're looking for from those areas that you're evaluating over the course of this last month?
Well, first of all, let me be real clear. It's obvious our quarterback for the future is Dak Prescott. So we don't have to have guesswork about who's going to be our quarterback, number one. And so number two, we will particularly be looking and have the opportunity to continue to look at these offensive linemen, get those snaps, get those reps. That's a big deal.
And that's to your point.
And that should pay off for us as we go forward, because we've got about 3, possibly 4 young players that will really benefit from it.
Ooh, we got to talk about that. They said 3, possibly 4. He gave away a big clue with that. So we gonna start the show, bro. That boy said 3, possibly 4. Ooh, let's go.
He ain't going for it.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check the song. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them 5s, need them 10s, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty.
Yup.
You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me.
Let's go.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment.
Yup.
You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call
Call
it
it too legit.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Ah, man. That's all I want to do is run it up, Law. Big. That's
No doubt,
all I
bro.
want to do. OC, that's all I want to do is run it up. That's all I want to do, bro. That's all we want to do.
No doubt.
All right. Whew. So let's go ahead and continue with that, because I didn't want to start with that, but you started it, Law. And then, OC, we got to definitely get you in on this one. So he said 3 to 4. See, that's a big nugget, bro, because where does that leave Zach Martin if you're talking about evaluating 3 to 4 linemen? I'm going to start with you, OC.
The 3 to 4 linemen he would be talking about will be Cooper Beebe, obviously. It will be Hoffman, and it will be Tyler Guyton. Them being the top 3. When you look at the composite of
Where's
what's
the
happening,
4, though, OC? 4.
I mean, TJ Bass may have to be in there because you don't have Hassan Richards back from injury, I don't believe.
Or is it Awesome Richards? Because his name should be in the hat.
Yeah, but he's out for the remainder of the year.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, he's out.
That's true.
He's out. So I'm saying,
Yeah,
if it's three, he's saying 3-2-4, then it has to be TJ Bass then, in my opinion, because who else reasonably could play and that you will be evaluating unless he's talking about. And this is all speculative. This part of it is okay. The fourth person is the speculation part. Unless he's talking about Chuma, but Chuma is not a young guy. So
right.
To me, it will be TJ Bass. That's my opinion.
Right.
And so if you look at the composite of these guys, and you look at Hoffman, I like the veracity and the intensity and the effort in which he plays. He's a guy that if you're out late and you're in a dark alley, like you want him to be your friend. He's one of those type of guys. So
right.
He go give you everything he got. The talent, and the top end talent in terms of comparing him to Zach Martin, that's not a comp at all. Just to be clear on that. But can he be serviceable and do a solid job for you? He's proven in the last several weeks that he can. Is he the long-term best solution for the Cowboys at guard? I don't know. Do I think he would be good at center? I don't think so. I don't think that he has the anchor strength, and I don't think that he has short area mobility to stand up versus these super elite or a very good one tech. I think it'll be too much for him in that role. I think that Cooper Beebe has the highest upside out of all the linemen that I just mentioned. But I think that as a rookie in the NFL, and people underestimate how hard it is to play the center position. He's the brain of that offensive line. He's had some physical defeats, but a lot of his physical defeats that I've watched is footwork. And when I say footwork, I mean that it's false steps, or it means that he's pivoting off of his front foot instead of picking up his foot, putting it down for a few inches.
You talking about Hoffman right now?
No, I'm talking about BB now.
Okay.
BB and Young. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you see some of the physical defeats with Cooper Beebe, you see bad footwork. You see him lunging off his front foot. You don't see him picking up his foot at a 45-degree angle. Like as an example, like on a cutoff block, you don't see him pushing off of that first foot and getting his foot in proper position so that his head and his angles can be correct on cutoff blocks with big, strong linemen. When he's singled up with cutoff blocks and stuff like that, you'll see him pivoting, or you'll see him pick up his foot, put it down, and then the guy blows through his play side shoulder. So that's just an example. But I think Cooper Beebe is going to be really good. He's going to be really good for you. I think a year in the off season in the weight room, I think he's a guy that can play guard or tackle if you happen to like somebody else's center. I'm not opposed to that. But I think he'll end up being really good at guard or tackle. Not guard or tackle, I apologize. At center or guard, I apologize. I misspoke. But he will be really, really good for you long term. But even when Fredericks was first year center, man, he wasn't impervious, right? If you go back and look at Fredericks, his first year, he wasn't impervious, man. He did a good job. He had some ups and downs, similar to what we're seeing with Cooper Beebe. All right, but I would say he played. I would say he played better than BB, but I would say that he still had some ups and downs. And so, and I'll just be quiet and kick back to you guys after this. But if you're looking at a person like, the third person we're talking about, if you're looking at like a TJ Bass, TJ Bass is just a guy that if he's healthy, man, he's scrappy. He's a guy that is just as scrappy as Hoffman, but he has better athletic ability. He's quicker. He has better feet, in my opinion, and he's more athletic. And strength is about equal. So I like TJ Bass. I think if he gets reps long term, he'll be a solid NFL starter for you. Will he be all world? I don't know, but I think that he'll be a solid NFL starter. And if you're talking about Tyler Guyton and we're talking about, Chuma, I mean, look, Chuma's going to be okay until he faces a real athlete. He's going to be fine. If he's facing a guy that's just strong and that's a run defensive end, if he's facing a run defensive end type, he's going to be fine. He's going to be okay. But if he's facing a guy that got some wiggle and got some burst, that's when he's going to struggle just because he doesn't have the top end footwork to deal with speed and change of direction at a high level, which is why you drafted a guy like Tyler Guyton that has the athletic ability. But we talked about this, I think, last week, Boss Cowboy, that right now, based upon his play and based upon his mental, you got to kind of protect Tyler Guyton right now. I think he's long-term. They want him to be there at left tackle, but, man, you're not going to put him out there if his physical and his mental's not right because you got a long-term plan for that guy. That's what I think.
No doubt. That's a great excerpt on everything. I would say this, though. I agree with the Brock Hoffman situation. He's a guy that got grit and mentality, which that is a good thing. But when they get enough tape on you and they realize, oh, man, he can't anchor in that good, right? So that's when you got size and strength do matter. So, yes, keep him at guard, but for right now, you don't want to wash off what Cooper Beebe did his rookie year. Scouts say this: if you've seen it once, you can see it again. And for what Cooper Beebe did against Dexter Lawrence, who is by far one of your better interior defensive players in the National Football League, by allowing 0 pressures out for 58 snaps a couple of weeks ago, that means that, hey, let's still build upon that. Let him be your center. Let's not get cute with it. Let Bass be your swing guard and just roll with it from here. Let's not play musical chairs and let this thing go all haywire. So that's how I look at it. Far as the Tyler Guyton, in the words of Big Nate Newton, it's going to take another year, right? Because you got to think of it this way. He was transitioned from right tackle to left tackle, and this is his first year playing left tackle.
Right.
So next season will be a solid continuity of him learning at left tackle. So you still have to give him grace and mercy for that. Now, that's just where it is. But that's why he was saying Austin Richards should be the left tackle. Now, as far as Chuma Edoga, he said we know who he is. He's going to have those hiccups. But when he playing, when he's solid, he's solid. But those hiccups, you just don't know when it's going to happen, So
that's
the only thing. That's the only thing with Chuma, though. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what you're saying, Law, I respect the great Nate Newton, but I disagree with him here. I don't think that Austin Richards is going to be your answer at left tackle because I don't see him still having the power at the top of the speed rush, man. I understand that he moves relatively well in space, but I don't see the strength, and I don't see the hand strike strength and the anchor strength at the top of that speed rush when he's facing real good guys, man. I don't see it in him now. And he could have gotten better. I could be missing something, but I don't see it as that, man. I think that he's more
not to cut you off, but I think that he was speaking under the mindset that for right now, Awesome versus Tyler Guyton. Yeah, because ultimately the Cowboys are not going to fall on their sword, so we know ultimately that Tyler Guyton will be the left tackle for next season. But I think that he was speaking under the notion that if it was like for him as the head coach now, he would have had Awesome in front of Guyton at that left tackle.
I understand. I understand that thought. I understand that thought. But I think that even if you deal with a guy like Chuma, the thing that you get with Chuma is you get a guy that's sturdy and they got some pop and some strength. He got some strength to him. So what he lacks in lateral agility and foot quickness and technical nuance, he has good strength and pop. In other words, when he hits and latches on you, he pretty much got you blocked. Right, he's that type of guy. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm not trying to be messy, and I don't, I know they probably won't do this, but look, man, if you just really want to settle your left tackle, you got a guy that's playing guard that can play there, and you got Bass that can do a good job on the inside. If you just want to come down to it and want to say right now. Now I know they not gonna do that. But I'm saying the man still can play left tackle, and you got Bass, which is not even serviceable. I think he's about starter quality in a National Football League at the guard position. But that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is this. I still think because of the top end strength aspect, he just plays with a little bit more strength. Chuma is okay as long as he's not facing a good athlete. But if you got a good athlete there, then hey, you got Tyler Smith, man, that can still do a great job playing left tackle. And I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't care if people don't like it, but he still can do a good job playing that left tackle.
So I know we hogging, boss, but let me say this. So are you saying the OC, you would literally, if it was your offense, if it was your design, you would have Tyler Smith, TJ, BB, Brock Hoffman, and Terrence Steele. That's your front five.
I would say if I'm not playing a dominant 3 technique, if I'm not playing a dominant 3 technique, and I know I got to deal with some pass rush, right? A guy that's a fairly good pass rusher, I trust Tyler Smith the most over Tyler Guyton at this point because he's a rook. I know he has to cook some more, right? Definitely over Chuma and definitely over Asan Richards. Definitely.
This is so interesting, bro. This is a super interesting discussion right now. God damn. This is interesting. Because Lou up in here talking about, I agree. You know what I mean? So Lou is one of them. Lou. Lou is one of them offensive guys too. But you saying some stuff that ain't popular. It's not popular what you said. But also you got a good reputation. You know what I mean? So at some point, people got to consider some of the things you say, because especially when you step out against what's not popular, it come to pass a lot. I was telling Big today, you great at intuition, but I ain't going to trust your intuition quite yet. I need you to be a prophet a couple of more times. Same thing with you, OC.
Man, but you might be talking to a prophet. You don't even know it.
That's true. That's true. I just need you to hear it a couple of more times. That's all. That's all. That's all. My interesting thing in law, y'all ain't never hogging, bro. I was sitting here just absorbing this good conversation, bro. I'd never feel like y'all hogging, bro. But my take on this, it was Jerry. He highlighted the key positions that he's evaluating. So he's talked about offensive line. I'm not gonna play it, but he also talked about receiver. I'm not going to get into that right now. I'm going to kind of pause on that. I'll talk about that later on this week. But it was interesting that he talked about the 3 to 4. You know what I mean? And because that made me think about the future Zach Martin, which to me said that Zach Martin probably getting ready to get Romo'd.
Yeah.
Where they going to go with the future?
Look, man.
Yeah. Father Time undefeated, man.
There you go, man.
Are we ready to accept that?
Yeah, at this point.
Been ready, yeah. I love
for the last 3 weeks. For the last 3 weeks, we've been talking about Genty and them, and I'm not saying that Rico is that, but Rico in the last 3 weeks been averaging 5.5 yards per tote.
Yeah.
This last game, 7 yards per tote. So I'm not saying that Zach Martin was the problem, but at the end of the day, this offensive line still have issues. He can talk about evaluating all he want, right? But let's say, for example, I'm asking you two, I don't know how deep or of a depth that you guys been at far as the draft, because I know drafting is right around the corner. But is this offensive line, and I know this super early, I don't know, y'all probably pull out your Googles and stuff, but is this offensive line intact enough for you to feel comfortable to pass up on a Will Campbell or Kevin Banks Jr.? Would you do that?
Yes.
So
this offensive line
right
is
now,
intact enough. Yes.
Intact enough.
It's deep enough for two.
Campbell,
and deep enough.
And deep enough. What about you, the OC?
I don't know. I'm gonna say I don't know to that.
It's too soon. Okay.
Yeah, it's too soon, and I want.
You can't look forward, OC.
I can look forward, but I'm gonna tell you I don't know. The reason why I don't know is not because I'm not familiar with those linemen. It's because I haven't dug into the quality of backs that's in this draft, and can I get me a great back, right? Realistically, in the second or the third round. Right, if I can get a great back, which is what the Cowboys need to draft. No offense to Rico, God bless him. He's doing what he can do. Right. I'm not hating on nobody, but I'm saying we need a great back and we need another offensive weapon. We need to invest there. But if you can happen to do all three and pick up a surefire day one starter on that offensive line, I don't know if that is a yes, but it's something you need to consider. And I'll get more solid on that as we go. But I'm saying I think it's something you should at least consider.
I'm done considering that. Especially in the premium picks right now. I think we done fed that offensive line top level steak for the last 15 years, bro. At some point, I need some vegetables, and I need a shake. I need some. You know what I mean? Give me a weapon, bro.
Give me a red velvet cake here.
Give me a red velvet cake now, bro. We've been so responsible at offensive line. I'm tired of responsibility, bro. We need to floss. It's time to floss, bro. For real. Okay. We ain't flossing Zeke and CD Lamb. I need to floss.
German chocolate, baby. Come on with it. Straight Come on with it. Red velvet Italian ice cream. Come on.
I'm gonna change the subject.
Like Italian cream cake. I like those.
Italian
That's
cream.
Underrated. Italian cream is underrated cake. Anyway, sidebar conversation.
Yeah.
I got something I want to change. Because, see, this is what everybody want to talk about, so we got to tackle this, so we wouldn't be given a final word. We got to tackle this.
Just a couple weeks ago, then Dak came out, then Micah came out, and then Troy Aikman last night gave his endorsement of Mike McCarthy returning. What have you thought of players, and now Troy last night endorsing coach's possible return?
Not surprising at all. Mike... he wouldn't be in this job had he not had the kind of credibility that those endorsements reflect. He's a heck of a head coach in the NFL and has got the skins on the wall to prove it. And I've never felt that we were backing in with Mike McCarthy as our head coach. And so... yeah, you bet. That's all a part of as we look to the future. I'll tell you right now, the fact that you are talking about Dak's endorsement says so much about do we want to benefit from these last 5 years that Mike has had with Dak Prescott. Got Dak Prescott going forward, an incremental part of how we're going to be as a team over the next few years to come. That you couldn't, in my mind, have anyone any better influencing the best and bringing out the best in Dak Prescott than Mike McCarthy.
Well... You want me to go first?
I'm going to go with Law this time. I went with you first.
Oh, you going to go? Okay.
This time, OC, you was itching. I want to go to you because I can tell you was itching for Law first.
Go ahead, Law.
Yeah. So here's why I'm done with Mike McCarthy.
Oh.
And I get it, man. That's my guy, man. I've been telling people, man, Mike McCarthy been shades and way, way, way better than what we previously had out of Jason Garrett. But here's my thing is with Mike McCarthy. He professed that, hey, we need to run the ball more. We get into these games and he don't run the ball.
Bro,
it's 5 minutes left on the ticker, and you got a running back that's averaging seven and a half yards rushing, a half, and we go into this pass happy mode, and all you had to do, talent or no talent, is run the freaking ball. So that goes to show you that even in a micro level, if Dak Prescott was here, he would still be doing the same mistakes that he had. And we are continuously being an undisciplined team. We are seeing mistakes that this team had in 2020, even in 2024. So I'm just done with Mike McCarthy. I get it. He was dealt a short rope. He was also dealt with a meddling owner and all of these things. But what are you doing to separate yourself? And you had your star-studded quarterback, Dak Prescott, who's the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League or the highest paid player in the league, to fight for you. And then you turn around and said, hey, what are you talking about, basically? I do have my own, I guess, influences here. I don't know what Dak talking about. So he's even being coy with the quarterback. I don't understand Big Mike.
Ooh, interesting. I can't wait to jump in. It's gonna be good.
What is the Cowboys record, guys? What is the Cowboys record?
5-8.
Okay, I'm gonna give you something about that at the end. What I hear is nervousness and uncertainty. This is what I hear coming from Mr. Jones. Mike McCarthy has coached better with the more intensity since the injury to Dak Prescott. I feel that Mike McCarthy has a sense of his mortality at this point, and he doesn't want to go out not trying to do his best. Albeit, I'll give you some of the decision making does leave kind of you scratching your head on, okay, why did you do this? Why did you not run the ball here? Why did you do that? Why are you not doing this? You kind of scratch your head with some of the decisions, and I get that part. But I think he's going to try to go out swinging this season, and he's going to try to coach his absolute best because he doesn't want his legacy to be remembered like this if he does not get another big coaching job. Now, what I will say is this: because of the fear and because of the uncertainty that I'm hearing, what I'm going to say is this: if the Cowboys can get to 500, they get to 500 or better, Mike McCarthy is going to come back on a 1 or 2 year deal. That's what's going to end up happening because Jerry Jones right now, he doesn't know. He is becoming, you know what they say when you diversify your stocks. If you start with a company and you start to invest in your 401k, they start to say, hey, go ahead, your first years, you're young, you can take all these risks, right? Because, hey, if it messes up, then you got time to bounce back. But as you get older, you become more conservative in your portfolio. And Jerry Jones is at that point where he's going to be a little bit more conservative with his portfolio. And what's going to end up happening is Mike McCarthy, if he can get to 500 or greater, this man is going to win the crowd and win his freedom. And he's starting to win the crowd, and he's going to get him another year, a short contract, maybe a 1 year or 2 year, to see what he can do with a healthy Dak Prescott, rather than they blow up the coaching staff, start over again. That's what I see. Boss Cowboy.
I totally agree with you. I see that's what's going to happen too. If he finishes at 500, Mike is coming back. Mike is coming back, and he laying the groundwork for it. Because I'm going to show this. I could play it now, but Jerry put out there what his criteria are for these coaches. And let me just play it.
Yeah, that'll be good.
So when you do make these decisions, you do use player influence and support to factor into your decision making?
Let's put it like this. Anytime you're looking at who's coaching them this day and time, if you've got key players, you look at the situation that gives them the best chance them being the players that you've got under contract, that gives them the best chance to be everything they can be. The coach that complements them the most, the system, the approach. We've seen this year an adjustment to a change in coaching with the switch to Mike Zimmer.
He right on that too. He right.
And you saw firsthand that takes some time. There's some growing pains with moving into a different coaching mindset. And that's what you get into when you move those coaches around. And you've got these key players this day and time under contract. You better mellow it up.
So, Jerry, you mentioned there are all these great qualities that you feel like Mike has and how great he is for Dak. What are you still evaluating then before giving him an extension?
Well, again, you're going to the inner parts of my mind this morning. I'm not so sure that I'm ready to go there, but there's no secrets in there. I'm just it'll have the benefit of a lot of years involved here doing this, both on and off the field, and doing it in other areas too. So to that end, that's probably a plus. Sometimes, like when I first got involved with the Cowboys, sometimes maybe you're better off not knowing what you're doing and just picking an instinct.
Well, he started to just talk right there.
Yeah.
But the first part, and I got another clip, I ain't gonna play it.
Okay.
I'll get into it sometime this week. But he made it more specific than any time ever that the key criteria to picking these coaches is going to be how do they work with your bigger contract guys. He let that out this week. So, and he did make a valid point that a lot of people, we ready to cut and clean, but I think if you ready to cut and clean with our solutions in the background, you could hurt yourself, because Mike Zimmer, as much as he's starting to turn around now, it was growing pains to get to where we starting to get to now. That could happen again.
Some of that stuff could have been alleviated, though, because of the lack of movement with the general manager. We knew that Diggs was coming off of an ACL, that he was going to be slowly integrated in. We knew that Carson's was a rookie, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't until we had Josh Butler out there until we saw some improvements in the secondary, and then he got hurt. And then, of course, the return to Bland kind of soft some of that. But here's my thought process on what Jerry Jones is doing. If you're going to bring Mike McCarthy back, bringing him back for 1 year is just another waste to me.
That's a waste, because
he's going to be it's going to be the consistency of him being in another lame duck year. Yeah, you're going to have to be committed. You're going to have to.
You got to be committed. We need two or more.
You're going to have to match his contract damn near up with Dak almost.
Right.
Be a 3-year deal so that he can go with good faith to his offensive line coach or to his running back coach and say, hey, you're going to be here. So spend extra time working these things out. Hey, tight end coach, you're going to be here. Who else that's under his administration that they don't have to be rubbernecking or looking over their shoulder on whether or not they're going to be here. You got to have that commitment in order for this to work out. That's how this thing works. So a 1-year deal, I'm not down for that. So what they say about a double-minded person, the OC, in the book,
They're unstable in all their ways, sir.
Right. So you got to be either hot for Mike or cold for Mike at this point,
Jerry. Got to be hot or cold.
You can't be in the middle, man. He's lukewarm with this, man. So he decided to do a soft rebuild, right? While this man is in his final year of his contract. And what gets me with Mike McCarthy is that he didn't have the gonads enough to bang on the table and tell us, hey, Jalen Brooks is not him. He's not it, right? For him to be a healthy stretch this past week, we already knew who Jalen Brooks was. Hey, man, I never knew that you could play football with skates, because he's slipping and sliding all over the field. We already know who Jalen Tolbert is to a degree. So at some point, Mike McCarthy is in his final year. He should have been banging on the table saying, I need playmakers, even though, the whole situation with Dak Prescott, not being able to be on the same page with CeeDee Lamb. I get it. CeeDee Lamb held out, and this offense looked very stagnant with all of the difference and influx of the offensive line. But if it was me at the final year of my contract, I would have to say, hey, Jerry, you're going to have to provide me these things so I won't look like a fool out here. Now, people are talking about X, Y, and Z things about Cooper Rush in these last 2 games. And they were saying, oh, man, he's good. We winning, blah, blah, blah. Don't y'all know that Dak Prescott is damn near undefeated when the running back is averaging 5 yards per toe?
Yeah.
5 yards.
Well.
So this last game, when Rico's getting 7 yards, don't y'all know what Dak would have did to that team?
Man.
But so many people are so fixated on hating the quarterback that they get short-sighted with all of this.
Yeah.
All you have to do, Mike McCarthy, is get this run game in order and get this thing going with Dak Prescott. But what scares me is still what he did the other night.
Yep.
It's still
Rico
pass,
run the
pass,
ball,
pass,
get 13
even though
yards.
we had the ability to run the ball. Yeah.
Let me get into this real quick because I let both of y'all go first. It's my time to go
ahead.
first now.
Go
I
ahead.
gotta get this, bro. All right, so I'm gonna go back in time on this one. I'm gonna play this from Mike Martz, and this is from 2 years ago. So I'm gonna go way back in time.
Calling plays versus managing the game as the OC or play caller. What does that mean?
Well, they should be the same. Should be the same thing. You know, you have to get a feel for the game and call plays accordingly. You can't just go in and just call plays. I mean, I never did that. You just got to get a feel, you know, as you're watching the defense and knowing the situation. If your defense is struggling a little bit, then conversely, you're going to have to be careful that you're not just turning that ball back over to them. You know, all those good things. You know,
And that's what Mike not doing. Mike, when he calling these plays on offense, it's almost like he not aware that the defense is suffering. Like when you looked at the last 6 minutes and you threw the ball and had them 3 and outs and you only let 40-some seconds off the clock, it's like you calling plays like you're not even aware that the defense got to clean up your mess.
you have to know as much about your defensive game plan as you know what you're going to do on offense, and then when you get into the game, the flow of it. You know, if they're hitting some balls, and you know you're going to have to kind of change what you do as well. So, I just think that the guys that adjust the best as play callers during the game that can change gears, those are the really great ones.
And that's my plot with Mike right there.
Yeah.
Right there. He say the real good ones are the ones who can change course, who can change gears, bro. It was, right. And see, people like to focus on the fact, and it's true, that Rico was hot and they could have kept feeding him. But let's also be honest, he go away from other hot players too when they running good. It ain't just Rico that got done like this. It was Zeke too. Like, San Fran, Zeke was hot. He was averaging, just like this game, where Rico was averaging on the ground more than the pass. Zeke was like that too, and Mike abandoned it. He don't change gears. What really highlighted it at the end, where we knew you needed to close out the game, and we knew we needed that 4-minute offense, and Rico hit them with a 13 to 14-yard run on first down. He threw it 3 times in a row.
Yeah. And like, I don't think he got a reprobated mind, bro. I don't think that he's going to change. And here's
right.
I'm not to steal your thunder on that, bro.
Yeah, because I need my thunder back because I had some more, bro. I need my thunder back.
I'm finna alley back to. I'm finna alley back to you, though, bro.
Okay.
He may be, bro. He may be a damn good, great coach or good coach or whatever, but he's a lousy play caller. That's all I'm gonna say.
It's the changing of the gears. It's the changing of and let me say this in terms of the changing of the gears, bro. If Mike McCarthy comes back, he cannot come back as the play caller no more.
Yeah.
We only need the best side of you. The best side of you is the fact that these guys are playing hard for you right now. That's the best side of you right now. The worst side of you is your ability to change the gears. We need to take that out of his hand, and honestly, they need to give it to Shotty. Because Shotty's the OC anyway, and where he the one drawing up the plans. And then lastly, we know that he has a tendency to hit his 30. attempts on the run. We know that. Versus Mike is the opposite. Mike does not change that gear from pass to run. I'm quiet now. I want to hear from y'all on this.
Yeah, I think that, this thing hinges on the ability of the OC, but also the ability of a top end quarterback to make you look good or bad. And what I mean by that is that when Dak Prescott is healthy, Dak Prescott has the ability and the carte blanche to look at that defense and check in and out of plays. And Cooper Rush is not as effective doing that. And you wouldn't expect your backup quarterback to be that, or Cooper Rush to be that. But with Dak Prescott in that game, Dak does have the ability to change plays, and I've seen him check in and out of stuff and making wrongs right. And I will say this, not to make an excuse for Mike McCarthy, but remember when he was coaching Aaron Rodgers, and when they won a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers was dominating that line of scrimmage, man. He was checking in and out of plays, and at the end, he got frustrated with Mike McCarthy, and they fell out. But if you look at what's happened, right, with Dak Prescott and his evolution, Dak has proven he can do everything. So I think it's a little bit of both. I don't think it's all Mike McCarthy. I think it's some Mike McCarthy, and I just think some of this stuff is situational. Should he give up the reins? If Dak Prescott want him to give up the reins, I think it should be Dak's decision almost. No, listen, because Dak Prescott has to be comfortable with the ebb and the flow of working with that coordinator, and you making Dak Prescott have to come back off of an injury and change again, right? That's what you're making him do, and he's already been through tons of coordinators. You're paying this guy over $250 million.
It's a little bit different though, OC.
In what way?
Because this is a guy that's from your current administration. When I'm talking about Brian Schottenheimer, so we talking about similar language, somebody you already been working with. We not talking about bringing in no new guy. We talking about
internally. I think internally, Dak has a say. That's what I think.
He does have a say, but sometimes you got to override Dak, and I mean that because you overrode him before. You overrode him with Kellen Moore. You had no problem doing that. When you first got Mike McCarthy, you overrode him. You said Kellen Moore's finna be the OC. See, this is the thing. We gave you play calling back, and we watched you, and we evaluated you. Yeah. And evaluating you do not change gears. And it's real obvious. This is the most obvious thing about it. Every week, OC Law, every week he talk about the importance of running the ball, and he uses we. He say we need to run the ball better. We need to run the ball more. We need to get the attempts up. It's only one time this year he had over 30 attempts. He didn't even get to 30 attempts yesterday, with Rico averaging 7.3.
Yeah.
Like, what did the Rams do to us when they was averaging 6.5? They was just averaging, they kept running it. They did not stop. They killed us. You know what I mean? And that was 6.5. We had somebody with 7.3, and we only gave him 20. What are you doing? Bro, that was an easy gear change, bro. That was no, I don't trust you no more. And if you come back, I want to say this loud. He cannot be the OC no more, bro. He cannot be the play. He can be the OC, but you better not be the play caller. I'm done with that.
You know who's a successful Mike McCarthy? You know who is a successful Mike McCarthy who had similar issues with that? And he's coaching in Kansas City. Andy Reid had issues with that. And he didn't really overcome them until he pretty much said, okay, Eric Bieniemy, you on the staff, I'm going to allow you to call the plays and make the adjustments, right? So he was the run game coordinator, and he added the balance to it. Sometimes when you walking through the forest and the trees, you got to find that groove of the pathway that someone already trailblazed. And once you learn that pathway, it's easier for you to guide back to that pathway. Now that Eric Bieniemy is gone, Andy Reid continued to pick up some of those things that he previously worked with, So I think that what Mike McCarthy needs is a Eric Bieniemy type, a person that can come in to give him best advisories on when to run to keep the game fresh and unique, especially when you're in the red zone, money zone, and be able to score. I think that Schottenheimer, if Mike McCarthy is back And that's what comfortable for Jerry Jones, especially as he's old and long in the tooth, and he don't want all of that new change.
Right.
Is, okay, Mike, we're going to bring you back, but operating at this capacity, but let this guy help aid on calling the plays, because you get super and ultra stale with your play calling.
Yeah.
Or you get so fixated
pass happy
and don't be in touch with the game, and you putting your defense out there on the burner. So I think that would be the best solution if we don't want to do this quote unquote overhaul.
Right.
Well,
because the overhaul do got risk. Go ahead, Osi. I mean to cut you off.
No, you good, man. No, I was alluding to what you were just about to say. I mean, Jerry clearly stated that there's a transition time if you change coaches.
Yep.
And what I'm hearing is he's not interested in doing that. He's basically saying this is code for I'm not interested on losing for 1 or 2 years for my new coach to get acclimated. That's basically, to me, what he's saying, right? I'm not interested in that. So basically, what I need to take place is for us to maintain a high level of competition, and more than likely, unless, and he's saying that, well, you get into the inner workings of my mind here. This is all he's doing, right? I'm keeping fire underneath your tail. I'm not about to make you feel easy about this because we got a losing season on our hands, and I'm not just go up and give you a new contract. So basically, I'm gonna wait and I'm gonna see how you do, how you perform, and I'm gonna wait it out, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with you. Right, that is basically what he's saying in this situation. And if Mike McCarthy can manage to get to 500 or one game over, he'll get a new short-term contract. I do believe that, probably 2 years. I don't think he goes 3 or 4 with him. I think he gets maybe 3, but no more than that. I would guess 2. But this is what I see in this. I'm not against somebody else calling the plays. I'm not against that, and I think that it would take some pressure off of him to a degree. But I think that because of the affluence and the influence of the people that are stepping up in his corner, a.k.a. Dak Prescott, a.k.a. Micah Parsons, and whoever else will come out and get on the bandwagon. These are your highest contract guys, especially Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, at least internally, and this is something that we probably won't ever hear about personally. We might, though. We got sources. We might. But I'm saying he has to feel comfortable with whoever that person is, and that's it.
And see, that's the big clue right there. He gave away my ideal coach is the ones that's gonna make my big contract guys play best.
Yeah, that
points right back to Mike McCarthy. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just what it is. He is not getting out his head that Dak was an MVP run-up under his offense. He's showing that that's a big point to Jerry. You had something else on that, Law?
Well, I was just going to say I'm still trying to find angles to crush my guy analogy, on the investment aspect of it. And I can't find no angle. You are completely right, though, the OC. I've been thinking over here. I'm like, dang, this naysayer done said, man, the investment, when you young, you're going to take the risk. But when you get older, hey, you trying to collateral everything. You're just trying to be safe. And that is exactly, man, you got one of them a round of applause.
Yeah, I got one.
Man.
I got one.
Give it to him, man, because he done got my mind all messed up over here. Yeah,
because it's about dealing with the reality of what your GM is and what your owner is. Good point, OC. Obviously, very good point on that.
That's a really, really good point. I've been, how you've been dazed since then? I've been with stars over there. I'm like, this dude done literally broke it down. That was a cold-blooded analysis or an analogy. So, dang, and I don't want that future, though, because I'm tired. We are all fatigued of Mike McCarthy to that point, because we know if he's going to continue to call plays, we're going to continue to see those blunders.
And what the super chap say, what made them unsullied or new toy walking in the room? Exactly. Like, everybody's under the rules anyway. It's just like, I just don't want to be that content creator that's just going to be complaining if he come back. I'm also want to give the solution to what can make it work. And I think the only thing that can make it work is you got to take play calling away from him. That's going to give us our best chance, like right now. Because we've evaluated you to know that you don't change gears. Right. You don't.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not going to argue that point at this point. The only thing that will be his saving grace is to have a healthy Dak Prescott play all season that can see
Yeah.
the field and be at his best, changing plays and really controlling that offense. Right, that will be Mike McCarthy's saving grace. And right now he don't have that. Right, but and just back to you guys' point, just about the analogy. Look, at the end of the day, man, the only people to take a bunch of risks late in life are the people who don't have nothing to lose. So if you're already broke, you go take a bunch of risks. If you don't have nothing to lose, who cares? Take a risk, right? Or at least you should be, to try to at least go out better than you were. But at this point, Jerry got too much to lose, man. He's not going to take a bunch of risks.
I want to rapid fire this next point real quick. I want to hit this on a rapid fire, and then I want to get to some issues that's going on with Philly. Because sometimes you do got to look across at the grass. Because, see, to us, we feel like everything is burning down and we shouldn't have let Kellen Moore go. Now, we going to have to talk about that, Law. We're going to have to talk about that. But this is what I want to hit rapid fire. This game, for the first time probably ever, I went silent after that block punt, bro. I went silent, bro. Like, I didn't want to do content. I didn't want to talk to nobody. And it was mainly because, and I'm being honest, it was mainly because Zimmer was doing such a good job. I wanted him to get the respect that he was due for holding that high pace, high octane offense to under 20 points. Now, he wasn't perfect, because it was one thing that I wish he would have done. I really wish he would have matched up Diggs to Chase, right? I think that's the only thing that I would, but everything else, super impressed with what he did. What's y'all thoughts on that? I'm gonna start with you, OC.
Yeah, man. I think that Mike Zimmer did what he almost did, what I said would be very hard for him to do, which is hold them to 20 or less. Okay.
Yeah.
So, he almost did it, except for out route and a bad angle on the tackle, man, he would have done it. So, at the end of the
And
day,
if Mike wouldn't have kept him on the field.
All that as well, man. I think that at the end of the day, it's just about situational football. A guy that the people hate on a lot that was the best ever, or one of the best ever, at situational football was Belichick. Belichick just knew how to play all the different situations perfectly. So I think that Mike needs to be better in that regard. The muff punt is just a bonehead play. It's a super bonehead play. It's the kind of play that gets people cut. And I don't hope the person gets cut, but it is the kind of play you make and you end up getting cut the next day. It's just a horrible play, man.
Right.
It's nothing else I can say about that.
Yeah. Mike Zim, out of all of the cards, he was dealt the worst card. He had no face cards, right? He had Parsons out for a longer extent time. He still don't have D-Law. Marshawn Nealon was in and out. You lose Bland and you get him back. Of course, you have Diggs coming back from an ACL, so he's not up to his best. And you got the politic game with the safeties and stuff like that.
And the politic game with DT.
So he had a lot of stuff that he had to overcome. And to know where this defense is at, it's been one of the most sparks of this particular team this year. Even though the defense is ranked one of the worst in the National Football League, we can look back at the defense and say, well, they were hurt the most, right? And salute to Overshawn. Now, and it's terrible that he's hurt and had the ACL, MCL, and PCL all gone, bro, torn. So it's painful to see, because we don't never get a chance in Cowboys world to have good things. Sean Lee is, for an example, Bruce Carter, Jalen Smith, all of our star-studded players that we get either have some type of issues, especially on defense, that any player that we look for or towards they get hurt. And I ain't talking about a nick or a knack. I'm talking about season-ending stuff. So, but neither here nor there. I like what Mike Zim was able to exhibit and exude, especially holding that high-power offense to 20 points, and especially to the wee hours of the fourth quarter. So kudos and credence to him. Yeah, I wanted that win for him as well.
This chat is very interesting what Vincent said. He said, I'm good with taking Zim at head coach and Shotty at OC. I'm with that too. I'm with that too, bro. If you trying to kind of keep as much of this together as possible.
No, man. Because Zim is not a head coach. He's not the type of head coach that does well with the Dallas culture and the PC. He's doing a good job with that defense. But the head coach, it's a little bit different, man. He's not that guy, man. He's not that guy.
I totally disagree. Totally.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you why.
Why.
I'll tell you why. Because he got experience here, bro.
He know how to walk the room.
He know how to walk the room. Right. This ain't Zim first rodeo dealing with them.
I get it. Yeah. I get it.
So, if he was coming in from the outside, I would rock with you on that.
Right.
But he's been here before. He won a championship here before, right? He know how they work. You know what I mean? He know how the media works. He knows Dallas. That's why when he came back, he still had Ed Warner. He still had those go-to media guys. That's the voice for him when he need them. Like, I think we sleeping on Zimmer a little bit. Like, for real. And it's about the cohesion. Because it might be about getting rid of Mike, but we still want to keep a team that play hard, that they got their same language. You just kind of switched it up in a way where you put a new leader in place that earned it, right? Because right now, this is 4 weeks in a row that I got to say Zimmer is balling in terms of scheme. Because, see, last week you said something, OC, I'll let you make it, but I thought about it later. You said he just doing common sense. Boss, it's just common sense what he doing. But also, OC, how many times have we complained about the lack of common sense that we don't see?
No, boss, you're right. But it doesn't negate my comment that he was doing common sense. And what I'm saying is that Zimmer's not an upgrade over Zimmer. It's like, man, you're trading yin for yang, so to speak. It's like he's not an upgrade. So if he's not an upgrade, you might as well not rock the boat and the dynamic at all of what you're doing.
The only upgrade I see is Belichick.
He's not upgrade. He's not an upgrade.
Who is?
Okay. That's a better question.
I see only one. Belichick. That's the only
one. But the only thing to get in the way with Belichick is the money, right? He's gonna want 15 to 20. You know, he got a little tenderoni that he got to pay for. So he ain't gonna be sitting back only taking $5 million. So that could be right up the wheelhouse with Shotty though, because you and I, boss, we got a chance to talk to Shotty. He got a little spice to him.
Right.
That if you put him on the camera, these people might adapt to him and listen.
I agree.
Know? He got.
I was impressed with Shotty when you look up close. See, me and Law, we looked at him up close. I was impressed. I was.
Yeah. But here's my thoughts on Mike McCarthy though. It is that if he stick around and hang around, it could be like you said, more of the same. But one of the things that I don't want people to bang the table for is Al Harris being the head coach here, because I don't think that it will be genuine enough. Because when you get a first-time coach, I don't want the Jim Caldwell effect to happen, right? And I'm not putting that out there for that to be this conversational piece, but I want Al Harris to go to a situation where he get a free real chance at being a head coach, because that opportunity, man, you don't want to squander it, because you don't have the longitude and latitude like other coaches, if I can say that in so many ways. If you guys get what I'm saying.
No, totally. And then, good question by Company said, why does Zimmer have to be head coach? Why not just DC? Well, to me, it's about kind of trying to split the hairs of keeping the consistency of what we have, the language of what we have, the culture of what we have, without just doing a complete overhaul. Because, see, this is the thing that people have to keep in mind. We do want a new coach and new coaches, but it's not just the head coach. You bring it in a whole group of sub coaches, a whole group of sub coaches, and you only need a few of them to be bad to mess up it all, right? So we kind of in a place where we can maybe tweak some things, and maybe tweaking ain't bad. Like, that's all I'm saying is.
What about this though? Another old school guy said he got that itch again.
Belly?
Pete.
I'm with Pete. I love Pete.
Because Shot and Pete know each other.
I like it. I like it.
Now, Pete is more interesting because Pete is a championship coach. And Pete,
and he gonna run that ball.
He got swagger. He got charisma. He got the perfect type of charisma to deal with the Dallas media of the South.
I can see that.
And
I like that.
And he's a competition coach. He's a competition coach. He's the guy in Seattle with the Legion of Boom when they was going deep in the playoffs that established competition Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And competition basically, if you played bad on competition Wednesday, you would get your starting spot taken. He had it open all season. It was called Competition Wednesday. So basically, you had to be game speed in practice to keep your starting spot. That was
I like. That's a good thought, Law. That's a good curveball.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Because whoever come in here, bro, they got to fit what you just said, OC. You got to be savvy with the media. You got to be a leader of men. I do love the fact that competition, because we started doing shows based on that competition Tuesdays and Wednesdays to highlight different ways that the competition can improve the team. But that did come from him. Also, he was the reason, and Shotty was the reason they were saying let Russ cook, meaning they was committed to getting them 30 rushing attempts. And that's when Russell Wilson was giving you 10 wins a year. So you talking about a system that'll fit Dak. It's boring, but it worked.
It is the only thing. No. I was just gonna say it's the only thing because I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, we gonna be the AARP boys because it's bringing in all of these older coaches." But you got to understand that Jerry Jones like to operate in
comfort,
and on top of that, what we're trying to do is the least overhaul possible, right? So that will be those guys that you would have to bring in. And especially if Pete Carroll said he got that itch to coach again, then, hey, let him scratch it, over here.
And let me jump in on that too, Law, real quick, because I'm honestly getting tired of just a vague statement of a young guy.
Yeah.
I'm sick of that. Like, young ain't the answer to everything. And I'm going to be honest with you. Young is probably the worst thing you need in a controlling owner. So get a young guy with no skins on the wall, with no Super Bowls, but you go have Jerry submit to him. I think that's delusional, bro. Like, for real, you got to know where you bringing this young person in. You know what I'm saying? You're not bringing him into an organization that's going to have autonomy and that's going to let this young man do it his way. No, we go come into a controlling environment from day one. If Jerry's doing this to vets with Super Bowls, what he going to do to a young guy? So I think we need to put a little more thought into this, and just instead of just AARP and all this sneak diss and stuff that we do. No, it take real thought, bro. You got to really think through this stuff and not just have these complaining type of complaints. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's like you got to know your organization. And a young coach, let's be honest, if you ain't got no skins on the wall, you gonna get ran over here, bro. Like, keep it real. Jerry's gonna run all over you.
And it's not even running over, boss. It's that golden carrot, man. It's the golden handcuffs that Jerry go do to a young guy. That's what he did to Kellen Moore. That's what he did to Garrett. Give you the golden handcuffs. You know those golden handcuffs? I'm gonna pay you a couple $1 million a year. I'm gonna get your family taken care of. We're gonna get you set up.
Golden handcuffs.
We just need to follow this plan, young fella. We need to follow this plan. I've been here before. I know the plan. I'm just giving you the plan. See, that's what he go do. Right, you know what I'm saying? That's what he go do with a young guy, man. He go do that. He go do that pimping stuff with you. You know what I mean? Now the old guy that already got money and already won, he ain't gonna care as much about that. He just cares about his respect and his ability to come in here and do his job. But what I will say is this: I do like the ideal, a great point, Law, about possibly looking at Pete Carroll if you move on, or a Bill Belichick.
I like it.
Them two. This is what, and let me be very, very particular here. This is why I like the Bill Belichick, because you have a Pro Bowl quarterback and you got a workable defense. So if you give Bill Belichick a Pro Bowl quarterback and a workable defense, he could do some damage. Now, he's not going to be good if he didn't have a quarterback. Now, if Cooper Rush was a quarterback, I'd be like, you're wasting your time. Do not bring Bill Belichick in here. But because we have Dak Prescott and we have a workable defense, he's good enough to do something with that.
Yeah, because I seen two evidence. Go ahead.
My boy said real quick. He said, "I ain't never seen peace and coach together that have success." We in Dallas. You got to think like
Dallas,
that,
bro.
We just got. I hate that we have to think like this, but we got to think like this.
Yeah, and it's always been like that. But like you said, we seen Bill Belichick take Mike Castle
right
to the playoffs, or that he got out because it was 11-6 of that year.
No,
but he was successful that year.
Yeah,
and we seen Matt Jones.
He was 4-0.
Matt Jones, you know what I'm saying? To the playoffs.
He went with the backups. Yes, he did. Yeah, Belichick has won with the backups. Yes, he has.
Yeah.
Because remember with Garoppolo, he was 4-0 with Garoppolo. Then he had Brissett.
Garoppolo. Yeah.
He was undefeated with him too. So Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo went for a second rounder.
Yeah.
Under Belichick.
Yeah.
And the thing about Belichick is that he runs a program, so it ain't gonna be no Cowboy in no club. You ain't gonna see no Cowboy ever in a club during the week. You ain't gonna see none of that, none of that whatsoever. These boys gonna be underneath lock and key. They gonna be at that facility doing their lifts, doing their workout, watching film 20 hours a week. It's gonna be like that type of vibe. Be like you have your freedom after the season, so he will bring more discipline and structure, almost more like a Bills Parcells type, because they're from the same type of coaching tree. He's gonna bring that structure, so it's not gonna be no foolishness if you bring him in. So that's another good part too.
I like that.
Yeah.
Law, let me get to this real quick.
One other thing. Go
ahead.
I was gonna say just one little thing. If I can put any fault on Dak with this particular situation, I think that Dak never had stern coaching outside of what's the guy that's what's his name? John Kitna?
Yeah.
That was his only stern. That was John Kitna
his
was
best
the
season.
only guy.
Best season.
They gave him stern coaching.
His best season too. Yeah. He went crazy under Kitna. He went crazy.
Hey, that's better.
I gotta play this, Law. I wasn't expected to play this, but you open this up, bro. Sorry.
Okay.
Jerry, last one for you. One of your good friends, someone you have great affection for, Bill Belichick has kind of been the story of the NFL. How surprised are you that we're talking about the possibility of Bill Belichick coaching in college instead of the National Football League next year?
Listen to this.
Well, Bill, rightfully so. In my time as in college, that limited time, but more importantly, the years I've spent in the NFL, I don't know that I've seen a coach available, if you will, with his stature. He's got a lot of gas left in his tank, a lot. He's on the game. He's savvy. He knows the personnel all over the league. There's no learning curve there. And he just technically is sure a thing, sound a thing that you're going to be coached up as you could have.
So your point,
surprised me that everything there is out here that's got a coach concept associated with it that he's not being considered. Bill Belichick could run a major company very effectively, and he's just got that leadership ability, as well as, in this case, no one knows more football or how to execute and use that to win a ball game than Bill Belichick.
I wonder how Mike McCarthy feel about that last statement.
Execute and use that to knows more football or how to no one knows more football or how to execute and use that to win a ball game than Bill Belichick.
Man, come on.
He feels the same way he's been feeling, unsullied. The exact same way, man. Because he's just putting the fire underneath him and then opening.
You think that's fire? I think that's genuine.
It is genuine, but it's also fire. Like, man, this dude is the best, and I'm saying what I think. I think this dude is the best, and we're friends, and I just think he's the best. I mean, to me, I think Jerry is sincere, but it's just more so of just like, man, I don't really care. It's almost like he don't really care. It's like I'm not protecting nobody's emotions. I'm just telling you what I think. And you know, he likes him. He likes Belichick, and guess what? He should. Dude's one of the best, if not the best all time. He should.
Yeah. Hey, they can run the streets together too. So yeah, they can do a whole bunch of stuff together.
All right, so here we go. We finally get to this. Because, see, Law, I'm glad you're saying this because the grass ain't green on the other side all the time.
Offense wasn't good enough. What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on? Passing.
AJ, I know everybody wants to get in a rhythm.
Wait! Yeah. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let us put some truth in it.
Devontae was acknowledging that, receivers, just like running backs, want to get in rhythm. How hard is it as a receiver to get into a rhythm when you guys are only throwing the ball like 20 times?
Incredibly tough. It seemed like there was a moment.
With a smile. Everything just peachy over there, Law. Everything perfect over there, man. They got Kellen Moore. Everything is going great.
Offense wasn't good enough. What are some things you think that the offense needs to improve on?
Passing.
I know everybody wants to get in rhythm. Devontae was acknowledging that, receivers, just like running backs, want to get in rhythm. How hard is it as a receiver to get into a rhythm when you guys are only throwing the ball like 20 times?
Incredibly tough.
Incredibly tough.
Like
with a smile. With a smile.
Into the bench. What prompted that reaction?
3 and out.
3 and out, man. So
this is under Kellen Moore. So all you Cowboy fans who want Kellen Moore back, man, you better get out of here, bro. I ain't apologizing to no goddamn Kellen Moore.
Putting our hair down and just going to work, doing the things we're doing and learning and growing.
What are the conversations like with Jalen during a game like this, where maybe the passing game isn't everything you want it to be?
Not too much conversation, honestly. I don't know.
God, dog, that's a mess. No. That's a mess. Let me play this other clip. We got to talk about this, bro.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable, and I'm just being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he know this. I don't know the whole story, but I know that one is trying, and I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he respond to things, and they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed, and I understand that because life happens, but it's the business side that we have to make sure that we don't let the personal get in the way of the business, and that's what we got to do better as right now, because we know it's an issue. Everybody's seeing some things, but we need to be able to talk things out as men. You know what I'm saying? But we need to let personal stuff go and let's get right for this game, because, man, it's like a lot of stuff, most of the time it's just a conversation that just need to be had, but the person with the problem gotta want to talk to the person other than others. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, that was so rich.
Oh my gosh. Just wait, because if we don't talk about it, the world don't talk about it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the 3-letter, the 4-letter network, if that was happening here, and
my God. If it was Dallas
over there, they wouldn't have been able to get it out of their mouths, because it would have been so much of, hey, look at the dysfunction, even though the record is favorable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, we can see that, hey, the grass not always green on the other side, even though they were green. So that's all I'm going to say with that. But I want to hear your thoughts before I get into my finals on that one. The OC or you, boss?
Yeah, man. I mean, this locker room skirmishes happens, right, between players, where it's personal stuff that happens in every locker room, where people invariably fall out, don't get along, got into a fight, something's happened, right? And so when you have those type of situations, Brandon Graham, he's the senior statesman there, man. He's been at that organization, man, I think 14, 15 years at this point. So he's being a big brother and saying, hey, man, basically, AJ, stop beefing with Hurts.
Through the media.
Good job. Yeah, stop beefing with him and being petty and putting our personal business out there. Y'all need to talk behind closed doors. It's clear, based on what Brandon is saying, that AJ don't want to talk to Hurts. And you know what? It's really dumb, because here's one thing, man, and this is what I've learned being an offensive lineman, being around quarterbacks. One person that you don't want to piss off if your career's involved is the quarterback, especially if you're a wide receiver. You're not gonna win against Jalen Hurts. You're not gonna win. AJ, I'm just keep it real. You ain't gonna win, and you ain't gonna force him to throw you the ball more. And guess what? It's no reason for Kellen Moore to come out there and throw the ball 35, 40 times a game when you have Saquon Barkley having an MVP type season, right? It's no reason for you to do it, right? So you're not like Kellen Moore is not underneath pressure to throw the football more. He's going to throw it when he decides to throw it and when it makes sense in their offensive scheme to throw that football. So I just think it's something, man, these guys need to settle behind closed doors. But I'm going to say this. It doesn't matter what play Kellen Moore calls. Here's the thing. Jalen, theoretically and realistically, Jalen don't have to throw AJ that ball. And AJ just got to remember that and handle this thing accordingly based upon what's good for his own career. That's what I would say.
I got something to say. All right. So, in the downturn of what's been happening with Mike McCarthy, right?
Right.
It's been a little bit too much embellishing in Cowboy Nation and over missing this Kellen Moore dude. I've been seeing that shit. And it's like, all right, listen, y'all. It's one thing to not like Mike McCarthy. It's another thing to make up some stories just because you don't like Mike McCarthy. Right. I fully predicted that this was going to happen. I have not forgot that Amari Cooper got 104 targets under Kellen Moore. I've not forgot that. I've not forgot that Amari Cooper had 104 targets just like Schultz. And I said before it happened, I said them receivers will go hate Kellen. How can you be a bona fide number one and not get your targets?
Facts.
I know you using Saquon. I get it. I get that he's truly the straw that's stirring that team. But at the same time, that offensive option route system, over aggressive option routes to where we looking for the system to dictate where the ball goes, it's going to always lead to frustration from playmakers. And they deserve it.
Right.
And I will say this, Cowboy Nation. There's no way you won't Kellen back. No way. And I would guarantee you this. The only reason why Kellen is having so much success is because Sirianni has enough common sense to say run a damn ball. Yep. Just like what Mike McCarthy did to him. Just like what Mike McCarthy did. That's why Mike McCarthy being your head coach with an OC might be better, because that actual OC might do what you say, because Mike McCarthy, you don't do what you say.
Boom.
So yeah, I got some super chat. Did y'all have anything else to that? But I sure enjoyed that long. That made my day, bro. I was feeling so bad until you see me that clip. Yeah. Because we under this illusion, this cloud that is only burning down over here. It's like, nah. If it's burning down and they winning like that.
Hey, I think the Panthers game would have been the straw to break the back, but it didn't. Xavier Leggett, he dropped the ball.
Yeah,
but,
that would have dropped it. Yeah, that would have did it.
It would have really tilted the scales. But I get it. I even got super chats over here. You want me to read them out? Or?
Yeah, I got mine too. Let's get it.
Okay, I got Ernest Ellsbury says, Law, what about Rex Ryan as the head coach? Rex Ryan was absolutely offered the defensive coordinator job, but they didn't want to pay him. So they paid Zim. So Zim is the second guy that they picked over Rex because of the money. So, but I think Rex Ryan been out of the league for so long. I think time done passed him. I wouldn't want to bring him in now. He's a New Yorker. You know what I'm saying? He's a fast, slick talker and all of this stuff. But I don't think that would work for us, man.
Yeah.
And we got Big Daddy Long Dong, who's an Eagle fan. He says Philly is talented and way ahead of Dallas, to be honest. And I agree, man. Philly, your team did a great job of assembling people together.
That's a damn lie.
But guess what? Just wait. You can book it. Because at the end of the day, just like Stephen A. Smith would say, you guys are an accident waiting to happen,
bro.
Yeah.
I'm sick of Philly, bro. They get on my nerves. Let me. I know you got a lot of Philly people that follow you, Law.
Yeah.
Don't listen. I'm talking to you, not Law. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm finna call y'all out, but don't unsubscribe to Law because of what I'm finna say to you, okay? Because I'm the one calling you out right now, all right? I'm sick of y'all, bro. I'm all the way sick of you Philly people because, first of all, I'm sick of Philly freeloading. Y'all are freeloading this division. I can't stand y'all. You got one freaking Super Bowl. We got the most Super Bowls out of all the divisions, and you over there carrying your one single trophy. If you don't win it this year, I'm going to go crazy on y'all because you supposed to actually win it this year. You got the best offensive line. You got the best running back. You got an MVP. You got a running back that's probably finna break the all-time rushing record. You better win it. If you don't win it, I'm not going to let up on y'all, boy. I'm not going to let because you supposed to win it this year. You supposed to win it because right now the league is not really built to be able to stop the run. It's not built, and y'all built to run the ball, so you better win it and stop freeloading on the rest of our success in this division. Yeah.
All
right, let me get these
and he got one more super chat. See, just when you give the Eagles just a little praise on little things, they always overdo it, right? He sent money over here, $2.
Yeah.
He says, "What's funny is Overshawn is injured. Laugh now."
See?
Oh, that's an example.
See, that's karma, bro. It's gonna hit you right in your mouth.
Look,
it's gonna get you.
I'm gonna screenshot this
and
watch. Just wait. Just book it. And I ain't gonna be ultra. I'm just gonna post it. When y'all see when I post it, I'm gonna say that's what Eagles fans get.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. Something is about to happen to one of y'all star-studded players, and it's on behalf of Big Daddy Long Dong for messing with us. You know what I'm saying? You remember in the biblical days, they was teasing the prophet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking about prophet?
Yeah.
And the bat came out of nowhere and gobbled the kids up.
Yeah.
You know, you better not play. You better not play around with those
and see,
who
that's
are
Philly.
chosen. Come on, baby. You
And see, that's
watch out,
Philly spirit, bro. Y'all go too far, bro. Y'all go too far, bro. That's dirty, bro. That's too far, bro. You go too far. That's why you only got one Super Bowl. And see, then we got kind of weird Cowboy fans who jump to the enemy side. This dude named Kid Cowboy said 35 years ago, boss, bro, I'm not talking fast. You just listening slow. I said that Philly is freeloading on the division. So that means the Giants and Washington and everybody else that's brought rings to the division.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you want to jump on Philly and lap dance on Big Dong. You know what I'm saying? You looking weird, kid. Like, were you a Cowboy fan and you over the lap dancing from somebody who just hated on Overshawn and celebrated his success? What kind of Cowboy fans we got?
Ooh.
So anyway, man, let me get to these super chats, bro. You had any more over there?
Nah, that was the end of it. But yeah, Philly fans celebrating Overshawn being
That's
injured.
wild.
That's crazy. That's
wild.
You know?
That's wild. Dirty, bro.
That's dirty, bro. Yeah,
like,
dirty.
And none of us would do that to y'all, bro.
None of us.
Like, none of us. Yeah. As much as we hate y'all or can't stand y'all, hate is strong. Y'all just, as a coach, y'all do too much, bro. Like, real talk. Y'all just, there has to be rules to war, bro. Real talk.
Yeah.
So, Super Chest Up, he said he's been here before, but he wasn't advertising, so can't trust Zim either. That's the thing, and that's a good point by Elp. Because to me, that's what makes Zimmer a good candidate, because I was saying this the other day, Law. I was saying we haven't yet seen sideline Zimmer. We still waiting on sideline Zimmer. But it shows you that Zimmer knew how to contort himself in a way that would fit the coach of the Cowboys. That's actually what you need in Dallas. Who are the people that understand the coach of Dallas and how to maneuver through the politics? That's why I'm telling y'all, I'm not believing in these young coaches. At this point, I think this organization needs savvy veterans. So, yes, Zim is not himself, but Zim is showing that he can coach through the craziness. They gave him his DTs late. He had massive injuries. He not cussing people out. Law, you have not used that button one time this year since the season started.
Nah, I couldn't even use it, man. I couldn't even. I couldn't even use it.
You have not used that all season. But yet, ever since we started getting healthy, nobody can't say that we not effective. Nobody can say that this defense is not starting to finally come around to what he been treating, but what he been preaching. You know what I'm saying? So it is, he's unsullied, but he's navigating well through it, in my opinion. You have something on that, Law?
Nah, I just think that, just a matter of circumstances, right?
Yeah.
You know, with Zim and everything. And, normally it takes a couple of years before defense come gel together, but sometimes injuries do play that role in it as well. But to say this, if you don't have like a finite philosophy already installed, right? And you got to go through growing pains with a front office who refuses to go out there to will and deal with bringing in fresh talent, far as those who can make plays, then this is what we're getting. But we can see the growth aspect out of Zim, and I think that we should be hitting on all four cylinders next season if they bring him back with his philosophy.
Oh yeah, we gonna be hitting on something special. I believe that, Law. I think we gonna be hitting on something. I got one more super chat and we'll give our final words, big dog.
No doubt.
So he said that's the problem. Dak is Mike's crutch, but Dak needs a footstool. That's a good point, bro. See, Dak is not only to me Mike McCarthy's crutch, he's the team crutch. Okay. The team is playing a whole lot harder when they back us against the wall with Cooper Rush. Now it seems like y'all know how to fight to the end. But see, when Dak out there, I think we buy into all this stuff of Dak gotta carry us and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so y'all kind of play like Dak is gonna carry you. You know what I mean? But when it's Cooper Rush, you feel, I gotta go carry my own stuff. So we will actually play out. It's something very big to what you just said on that amp. So give him my final words. We have some unique problems in Dallas, man. You know, it was a lot of us like real upset at some of the odds that's coming out, like these old coaches, AARP. But trust me, Law don't want to have this conversation. Law would want to talk about Ben Johnson like everybody else. We would want to throw him in the hat.
Yeah.
But Law would be half the content creator if he didn't measure the whole Kool-Aid. The thing that you're getting out of us is actual measurement of all the Kool-Aid. So it's halfway thinking if you just think a young guy's gonna solve this, you know? And so some of the answers that we coming up with, y'all not gonna like. But it's based on what we gotta do because it's Dallas. That's the key.
It's Dallas, yeah.
So I know a lot of people don't like the idea of Mike McCarthy coming back. But he could come back. And if he coming back, we trying to put out there what could make it work. And what could make it work, even though it's a patch job. And nobody loved this idea. Brian Schottenheimer as your play caller could be what bring us into balance. It's a long shot, yes, but it could be your answer. And we trying to give you the final word on it. That's my final word.
Fabulous, man. It's any given Sunday, right? And we got 4 games left. So what we trying to do out of these evaluations is look at these guys to see in their eyes who wants to be here, who's hungry enough to make an impact for the 2025 season. And if if it is a situation, the reason why I'm not banging on the table for the Ben Johnsons, the Bobby Slowicks of the world, because I understand that Jerry Jones is a penny pincher. I understand that he's going to be looking at it from this particular perspective. Hey, I just had a Super Bowl kind of caliber coach out of Mike McCarthy, and I was paying him 4.5. Yes, in the last other 2 or 3 years, he was giving me 12.5. You as a guy who haven't lifted up that Lombardi trophy, why should I give you 15 million? Why should I give you 20 million? You know?
Yeah.
So yes, retread would be the way for Jerry Jones. It's just like what the OC said about the investment. When you get older and longer, you're trying to be safe and secure so you can cash out on the possible great way, right? So is this team lost? I would say this. You learn more from your failures than your success.
Right.
You learn more from your failures than your success, Cowboy Nation. And the Cowboys better look into this situation and say, all right, if we were able to win games this way with Cooper Rush, can you imagine if we can get this run game going and defense going with the Cowboys starting quarterback Dak Prescott, right?
Yeah.
This is not me just banging on the table for Dak Prescott, but this is also me banging on the table for the Cowboys. Let's establish sound defense and establish run game and get back to the winning ways that we can be. Cowboy Nation, let's get it.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Those grills, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with Jay, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up.